This is one of the many interventions I am going to be providing on this issue of Christian genocide in Nigeria. And I'm doing this video particularly because of the position that some pastors, southern pastors, have taken on the matter. And I want to reiterate that I am not one to speak on divisive issues. And this is because such conversations rarely lead to any meaningful progress. People on both sides are often emotional and sentimental rather than being rational and logical. But on this one, I have decided to make an exception. Since President Trump began to speak about the issue of Christian genocide in Nigeria, many people, including those in positions of authority, have taken different positions of the matter. So there are two different positions on the matter. We have a category of people who are arguing that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. And of course, the people who are taking that position are people in government. Understandably, they would want to defend themselves, all right? And some prominent people, Muslims, are taking that position. And then we also now have a few pastors who are also taking that position. And I have seen that most of the pastors that are arguing against the possibility of genocide in Nigeria are southern pastors. They are from the southern part of Nigeria. And then we also have the other divide, mostly believers, Christians, pastors from the north. They've taken that position that there is a Christian genocide in Nigeria. And so these are the two separate arguments that we have on the matter. And of course, the media, for some reason, is running and amplifying the voices of those who are denying that there is a genocide against Christians in Nigeria. But let me say this. Insecurity in Nigeria is a multi-dimensional issue. All right? It's a multi-dimensional issue. There are different angles to the issue. There is the political angle, there is the socioeconomic angle, and there is the religious angle, all right? Another thing I want to establish is that insecurity in Nigeria affects everybody, irrespective of ethnicity and religion. And of course, we can say that insecurity affects, certain people more than the others. So generally in northern part of Nigeria, insecurity is worse in that part of the country. And so a lot of people, Christians and Muslims, have been affected. All right? And so that's another thing I just want to establish. All right? And I know that all of us, we agree on this. And then when it comes to the activities of the terrorists, now this is what, is evident. There are different groups, right? Now terrorizing, particularly the northern part, the north central, and now moving downward. All right. So there are different groups. But one thing that I have seen is that there are also splinters in these different groups with different agendas. But the truth is there are some of them who are systematically targeting Christians. And you see, the issue of persecution of Christians in Nigeria is not a recent issue. It's not. It's something that has been on even before we have these groups now that have been, designated as terrorists. We've always been having Christians being killed. We've always been having churches burnt. And so what has happened in recent years is that it has gotten worse. It has become worse. And so it is important for us, not to just lump everything together. I agree 100% that Christians are also being killed. Muslims rather, are also being killed. There's no doubt about that. But within all of this, there's still a systematic killing, persecution of Christians. And so what we cannot afford to do is to lump everything together. Because if you make that mistake of lumping everything together, we will find it difficult to address the problem. So we can't lump everything together. We can't lump everything together. We've had situations of even clerics promoting jihad. Clerics speaking about killing Christians. We've had situations of Christians being killed for, alleged blasphemy, or someone just preaching. In Abuja here, it happened. So we've seen it over the years. There has been systematic killing of Christians in Nigeria in the midst of the general insecurity that we have, which we cannot deny. And so the point I'm making here is this. Two things can be true. Two things can be true. And so what are the two things that are true here? It is true that Muslims are also being killed. But it is also true that there is a systematic killing of Christians. They can both be true. And they are both true. They are both true. And so we can't deny this. And this is, for my Christian folks, my siblings in the South. Let's not play down on what is happening in the North. I understand that there is a huge gap between the Christians in the North and the Christians in the South. There's a huge gap. Most of the Christians in the South are completely disconnected from what the Christians in the North are going through. Most of us in the South, we have no clue. We have no clue. And I want to say that what is being reported in the media, cases of persecution being reported in the media, they are just very few compared to what is really happening on ground. Very few. It's not everything that has been making it to the media. It's not. There are very few that has been making it to the media. And so it is important for us, especially those of us in the South, to talk more with our folks in the North. Find out what they're going through. There is a serious religious persecution against the Christians in Nigeria. There is. Except maybe we just have a problem with the term genocide. Is it genocide as a term that we have a problem with? And so let's even look at what is the definition of genocide. The Oxford Dictionary defines it as the deliberate and systematic killing or persecution of a large number of people from a particular national or ethnic group with the aim of destroying that nation or group. Are we saying there's no conversation about taking over Nigeria? Are we saying there's no conversation about jihad? Are we saying these things they don't exist and there are no clerics that are preaching these things? Are there no conversations about, the need to dominate and, promote, some of our political leaders promoting Muslim ticket and saying for the next 10 years, the next 20 years, Muslims will be the ones ruling a particular section of the country? I mean, these conversations are there in the media. They are there. Another thing that I want to say that's not being reported, another dimension, because now, you see, genocide is not just about killing. Killing is part of genocide, all right? But there's also persecution. Persecution is also another keyword in the definition of genocide. In the northern part, let's not shy away from this. Believers, Christians, are being marginalized in different ways. Those ones don't make it to the media. And you're just waiting for the killing and all of that. No, it's not just about the killing, it's also about persecution and marginalization. Those ones do not get to the media. And this is happening in different areas. We just need to speak more to our siblings in the north. Those of us in the south, we need to speak more to our siblings in the north. It's very, very important. And so, please, if you do not understand what Christians in the north are going through, please ask questions. Speak to those who are there. All right? It will be a great disservice for pastors and Christians in the south for us to remain in our bubble, and then we are taking a strong position about lived realities and experiences of a people that we are completely disconnected from. It will be a great disservice. A great disservice. And so, now for me, you see, I'm not in support of a country or US coming to invade our country, coming to invade Nigeria, no. I'm not in support, and I will not be in support of any of that. But I am in support of a coordinated intervention to ending insecurity generally in Nigeria. And so what I'm saying is that I don't want a country where only Christians are safe. No. We want a country where Christians, Muslims, atheists, traditionalists, irrespective of your creed and what you believe in. We want a country where everybody will be safe. We want a country where Christians and Muslims are safe. Traditionalists are safe. Atheists and people who don't believe in God or in anything are safe. Where visitors, strangers are safe. We want a country that works for all its citizens, irrespective of ethnicity, irrespective of religious affiliation, irrespective of creed, irrespective of all the primordial sentiments that we have. That is what we want. But you see, denial is not a strategy. And if we have a simplistic view and narrative about any of our social problems, we will not be able to address them. The issues are multidimensional and complex. And so any approach to solving them must also be multidimensional and complex. A simplistic approach will not help us solve our multidimensional problems. And so, for me, this, like I said, is one of many interventions I am going to be providing. I'm working with my team and I'm working with other siblings, and one of the things that we're going to be doing to help our brothers and our siblings in the South is spotlighting the lived realities of our folks in the North. We will be spotlighting their lived realities. Because you see, genocide is not just killing. And it's established there is systematic killing. Genocide is also persecution. There is established marginalization. Yes, we can say it's a general Nigerian thing. Yes, no doubt. But there is a systematic marginalization and persecution of Christians in the North. And so, like I said, the reason I'm providing this intervention is for our country to move forward. I want a country that works for all its citizens. But we must tell ourselves the truth. We must tell ourselves the truth. We can't be denying a problem that exists and then think that we'll be able to solve it. We will not be able to solve it. We will not be able to solve it. And so, watch this space. I'm going to be speaking more on this, and I'm going to be bringing people to share their lived experiences so that those of us in the South can understand what our folks in the North are going through. We need a country that works for all its citizens, irrespective of your ethnic group, irrespective of your religious affiliation. That is what we should be pushing forward. But in the midst of that, let's not deny that there is marginalization of Christians in Nigeria. And of course, when we want to talk about marginalization generally, we can have conversation about minorities as well. Marginalization of minorities everywhere. But to deny that they exist, it won't get us, it won't move us forward. All right? I believe that a better Nigeria that works for all its citizens is possible. If we all come together and we are sincere with ourselves, we can build that country. And so please watch this space and please share your thoughts as well. And then whatever way you can support what we're about to do, please we need everybody to come together to help us move our country forward. God bless you.